Welcome back, everyone, to Before AGI Weekly, your essential AI news digest for the week of March 16, 2025.
That's right.
And I'm joined, of course, as always, with my esteemed colleague, our AI expert,
Happy to be here.
who helps us every week break down and make sense of all the biggest developments
It's been another busy one.
in the world of AI.
It has indeed.
Right,
A lot to unpack.
yeah, so as always, let's just dive right in.
Let's do it.
This week, I'm really excited to talk about all the advancements we saw in foundational models.
Yes.
Google DeepMind,
Yeah.
they launched GEMMA 3.
Yeah.
And this isn't just another model release.
Yeah. It's really interesting. I think what they're doing here, GEMMA 3 is this new family of what we call lightweight open models.
Okay.
And the key here is that they're built on the same technology as their powerful Gemini 2.0 models.
Right.
But what's really fascinating is the focus on making these sophisticated models run efficiently on a wide range of hardware.
Interesting.
So from your smartphone to a high-end workstation.
Yeah. So it's bringing the top level
Exactly.
A down to devices that everyone has.
Yeah, making it much more accessible.
Okay.
And they come in different sizes,
Okay.
indicated by the number of parameters. So you have a 1 billion parameter version, a 4 billion, a 12 billion, and a 27 billion.
Wow.
And this allows developers to basically choose the right model for the task that they have in mind and the computing power that they have available.
So it's all about kind of right-sizing it for what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Now, one of the things that really stood out to me in the release notes was that the performance claims are quite impressive.
Yeah.
It suggests that it can outperform even much larger models, like Llama 3.405B,
Yeah.
DeepSeek V3.
Yeah. I mean, if these early results hold up, in broader testing, it really suggests a breakthrough in efficiency.
Okay.
Traditionally, more parameters meant better performance.
Right.
But GEMMA 3 seems to be punching above its weight. So that means we can achieve state-of-the-art results with smaller, more energy-efficient models.
And that's huge.
And that has, huge implications for deploying AI on everyday devices.
Yeah.
Think about, your smartphone suddenly being able to do things that previously required a massive server farm.
Right.
And the feature set is really impressive, too. They have support for over 140 languages.
Wow.
A very large context window of 128,000 tokens.
Okay, now for the listeners who may not know, can you explain what a larger context window means and why it's important?
Yeah, so basically a context window, you can think of it as the AI's short-term memory.
Okay.
The larger the context window, the more information it can hold in its mind at any given time.
Right.
So that means it can understand and generate longer and more complex pieces of text.
Okay.
Which is crucial for things like summarizing lengthy documents or having more in-depth conversations.
Okay, got it. So this is a huge breakthrough in terms of efficiency and accessibility of these models.
Absolutely.
And it's not just text anymore, right?
No, it's not.
The larger GEMMA 3 models are bringing in what's called multimodality.
Yeah.
Can you explain to listeners what that is?
Yeah, so multimodality essentially means that these models can process both visual and textual information.
Wow.
So you can feed them an image and ask them questions about it, or they can generate text based on what they see.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, think about applications like advanced image analysis or understanding complex visual data like charts and diagrams.
So it's not just looking at images in the way that like image recognition software has in the past.
Right, it's going beyond that.
It's actually understanding the meaning and the context of the images.
Exactly. It's about extracting meaning and being able to reason about what it sees.
Wow.
And they've also included what's called function calling,
Okay.
which is a really powerful feature that allows the AI to interact with external tools and other software.
Okay.
So it's not just this isolated model. It can actually reach out and use other tools to perform tasks,
Right.
which makes it much more versatile for building practical applications.
Interesting.
And then they also offer what are called quantized versions of these models,
Okay.
which essentially means they can run even faster,
Okay.
which is essential for things like real-time applications.
Got it. Now, alongside the release of GEMMA 3, Google DeepMind also released Shield GEMMA 2.
Yes.
What is that all about?
Yeah, so Shield GEMMA 2 is really interesting. It's a specialized 4 billion parameter model.
Okay.
Built on the GEMMA 3 architecture, but specifically designed for checking the safety of images.
Okay.
So as multimodal AI becomes more prevalent,
Right.
Ensuring that the content being processed and generated is safe and appropriate is increasingly important.
Right.
And so Shield GEMMA 2 is kind of their answer to that challenge.
So thinking about things like not generating inappropriate content or things that could be harmful
Exactly.
to users.
Yeah, being able to filter out and flag potentially problematic content.
Okay, and it sounds like Google DeepMind is really making a strong effort to make these models easy for developers to use by integrating them with popular tools like Hugging Face Transformers, Llama, and their own Vertex AI platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a key part of their strategy,
Yeah.
is to make these models as accessible as possible to a wide range of developers.
So really kind of lowering that barrier to entry for anyone who wants to start experimenting with this new technology.
Exactly, democratizing access to these powerful AI tools.
Now, OpenAI, of course, wasn't going to let Google DeepMind have all the spotlight.
No, they weren't.
They launched GPT-4.5, which they are calling their largest and most advanced AI model to date.
It's a big claim.
It is a big claim, and the emphasis seems to be on improved reasoning capabilities.
Yeah.
What's the significance of that?
Well, I mean, reasoning is really a critical aspect of intelligence, right? It's the ability to understand context, draw inferences, and solve complex problems. So, OpenAI is positioning GPT 4.5 as building on their, O3 mini reasoning-focused model,
Okay.
but with significantly more processing power.
So they're scaling it up.
They're scaling it up.
But it sounds like they're also really focusing on making sure that the AI is able to reason more effectively.
Exactly. It's about quality of reasoning, not just sheer size.
And how does this all fit in with the rumors and the work that's being done on GPT-5?
Yeah, so it's interesting that they're framing GPT 4.5 as this kind of intermediary step.
Right.
It suggests that they're taking a very deliberate approach to advancing their models, really focusing on this quality of reasoning.
Yeah.
Rather than just kind of blindly scaling up the number of parameters.
Right.
So it seems like they're building towards GPT-5.
Yeah.
But they're doing it in a way that is very focused on specific capabilities.
Okay, now, Elon Musk's XAI also made some headlines this week.
Yes, they did.
Their Grok chatbot. It made some pretty pointed political statements.
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise.
It was.
When Grok claimed that Donald Trump was a Putin-compromised asset.
Yeah.
It really threw a spotlight on these ongoing challenges of ensuring that AI models generate neutral and factual information.
Right.
Especially when it comes to sensitive topics like politics.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even though these models are getting much more sophisticated and impressive, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done around making sure that they're not spreading misinformation or just kind of going off the rails.
Yeah, I mean, it immediately raises questions about, potential biases in the training data.
Right.
And the difficulties of controlling the output of these powerful language models.
And this all happened around the time when they were deploying Grok 3, an updated model.
Yes.
You would think that with every new version, they would be getting better at navigating these issues.
You would hope so.
Right.
But it highlights the inherent complexity of training AI on these massive data sets that inevitably contain a wide range of opinions and potential biases.
Yeah.
So ensuring neutrality, especially on subjective matters, remains a significant challenge for the entire field.
Now, Meta also had a big announcement this week.
He did.
They announced Llama 4, which is a new voice-powered AI model.
Interesting.
This seems like a direct move into the world of AI assistants and voice interfaces.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly the direction they're heading.
Okay.
Llama 4 is specifically designed for natural language interaction through voice.
Okay.
And their stated applications, AI assistance, automated customer service, real-time translation.
Right.
All of that points to them really trying to compete with existing voice-based technologies.
Right.
And really the aim is to create seamless and effective communication powered by AI.
Now, this all comes alongside a massive $65 billion investment.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That Meta is making in AI for 2025.
Yeah.
Including a new AI data center that they're building in Louisiana.
Yeah. They're going all in on AI.
They really are.
Yeah.
What do you think this means for the future of AI?
Well, I think it signals Meta's serious intent to be a major player, not just in developing these foundational models, but also in building the applications that leverage them.
Okay.
Particularly in areas like voice interaction, where, voice is becoming increasingly important.
Makes sense. Now, we also heard some reports about Microsoft quietly testing some of their own advanced reasoning models.
Oh, interesting.
With the ambition of outperforming OpenAI in complex decision-making.
Yeah, that's a bold goal.
Yeah, that's a bold goal. What do we know about what they're working on?
Well, the details are pretty scarce right now,
Right.
But their focus seems to be on tasks that require sophisticated logical inference.
Okay.
Things like analyzing contracts or generating scientific hypotheses.
Wow.
So it really indicates, how high the stakes are in this field.
Yeah.
And how intense the competition is.
So it sounds like the foundational model space is really heating up.
Oh, absolutely.
But the innovation doesn't stop there.
No, it doesn't.
We also saw some really interesting developments in the realm of AI agents.
Yeah.
Which is software that can act autonomously to achieve specific goals.
Essentially AI that can take action in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, OpenAI launched their enterprise AI agent tools, the Responses API and the Agents SDK.
Interesting.
This seems like a really big push into the business world.
It is. It's a significant move.
Okay.
By providing these tools, OpenAI is enabling businesses to build sophisticated AI agents that are tailored to their specific needs.
Right.
So you can imagine, customer service agents that can handle complex inquiries independently.
Right.
AI assistants that can perform in-depth data analysis.
Really?
Tools that can automate entire business workflows.
Wow.
And, the fact that they mentioned finance and healthcare as potential early adopters suggests that they're really targeting industries where AI agents could deliver significant gains in efficiency and service quality.
So really high-value areas.
Exactly.
Where these AI agents could make a big difference.
Yeah.
Now, we also saw a new AI agent emerge from China this week that's generating a lot of buzz, Manus AI.
Yeah, I've heard about this one.
It seems like it's gone viral very quickly.
It has.
What makes it so noteworthy?
Well, the demonstrations of its capabilities have been really impressive.
Yeah.
It's claimed to be able to do a wide range of tasks autonomously.
Okay.
From building websites, to planning trips, to analyzing financial markets, generating reports, designing online courses, comparing insurance policies, even assisting with business sourcing.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
It does sound like science fiction almost.
It does.
But, the fact that it reportedly topped the Gaia benchmark, which assesses AI autonomy, problem-solving tool usage, and web interaction, really kind of fuels the excitement.
So this is a standardized benchmark that a lot of these AI agents are tested on.
It's kind of a way to compare them apples to apples.
Got it.
And for it to come out on top is a pretty big deal.
And it's being described as a potential true multi-purpose agent 1.0.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's using Claude 3.7 Sonnet as its underlying model is interesting.
Yeah, that part's interesting because it's not, a completely novel foundational model.
Right.
But it's the way it's being applied and integrated that seems to be the key innovation.
So it's not necessarily about just having the best model.
Right.
It's about how you use it.
Exactly. It's about the architecture, the way it's integrated with various tools and workflows, and the overall user experience.
Yeah.
All of that is critical in developing truly useful and impactful autonomous agents.
And this has been compared to DeepSeek's impact on how Chinese AI capabilities are perceived.
Right.
There seems to be growing recognition of China's advancements in applied AI.
Yeah, this really suggests that China is becoming a major force in the field of AI.
But the development of these powerful autonomous agents also raises some important questions.
It does.
We saw the demonstration by Symantec of how OpenAI's agentic AI could be used to execute phishing attacks.
Yeah, that was a bit concerning.
That was very concerning. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a stark reminder that these advanced AI systems have this dual use potential.
Right.
They can be used for good.
Yeah.
But they can also be used for harmful purposes.
Right.
And the fact that an AI could autonomously orchestrate a sophisticated phishing attack highlights significant vulnerabilities in our systems.
Yeah.
And the risk of malicious actors leveraging this technology.
Right.
So it really underscores the need for robust security measures and ethical guidelines as AI agents become more capable and more widely deployed.
Okay, shifting gears a little bit, let's talk about robotics.
Okay.
We're seeing some exciting progress in bringing AI into the physical world.
We are.
Google DeepMind introduced Gemini Robotics, which is specifically designed for humanoid robots.
Very cool.
This feels like a really significant step towards creating truly intelligent embodied AI.
Yeah, it is. Building on the advancements of Gemini 2.0.
Right.
This new AI model is really engineered to allow robots to understand the world.
Right.
Through a combination of vision language and audio.
Wow.
And then translate that understanding into physical actions.
So it's giving them the ability to perceive the world
Exactly.
in a way that's much more similar to how humans do.
Yeah.
And then act on that information.
Yeah. And the development of Gemini Robotics ER, which focuses on what they call embodied reasoning, is particularly significant.
Okay.
It aims to give robots a much more sophisticated understanding of spatial relationships and how to interact with objects in a more nuanced and intelligent way.
And we saw some of those demonstrations.
Yeah, the demos were pretty impressive.
Showing the robot being able to, place a banana in a container.
Right.
Close a Ziploc bag, make an organera crane.
Yeah, and, these are tasks that have traditionally been very challenging for robots.
Yeah.
Those kinds of everyday manipulations that we take for granted.
Wow.
But the fact that the model can generalize to new situations, like figure out how to grasp an unfamiliar object appropriately.
Right.
That's a key indicator of progress towards, more adaptable and intelligent robots.
Now, speaking of robotics companies, Frantic made a pretty interesting move this week.
It did.
They're ditching their partnership with OpenAI to focus on using their own in-house developed AI models.
Interesting.
For their humanoid robots.
Yeah, that suggests a strong belief in their own technology.
It does. And they had a really cool demonstration of their robots working together to unpack groceries.
Yeah, son.
And they were able to make decisions about where to place different items.
Yeah, it shows they're making progress with their in-house AI.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
And the fact that they have a pilot program at a BMW manufacturing plant and another undisclosed contract suggests that, real-world deployment of their robots is becoming a near-term prospect.
And they've also seen a significant increase in their valuation recently.
Yeah, there's a lot of investor confidence in their approach.
Now, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, he's been making the rounds lately. He gave a talk.
He did.
Where he declared that AI has gone mainstream.
Big statement.
It is a big statement. And he outlined a 3-phase evolution of AI.
Okay.
Starting with generative AI, moving into AI agents, and then finally culminating physical AI and robotics.
Interesting.
He also made the prediction that self-driving cars will be the first multi-trillion-dollar robotics industry.
That's a bold prediction.
It is a bold prediction.
But, it does underscore the immense potential that many see in this convergence of AI and robotics.
And he's not just talking the talk. NVIDIA is also investing heavily in this space.
Right.
They expect that their technology will power 1 billion humanoid robots.
Wow.
In the coming years.
That's a lot of robots.
It's a lot of robots.
But it really speaks to the scale and the anticipated impact of this emerging industry.
So it sounds like we're on the cusp of a major robotics revolution.
Yeah, it really does feel that way.
And this is fueled in part by all of the advancements we're seeing in AI.
Exactly.
We also saw some big investment rounds for robotics companies this week.
We did.
Dexterity, Inc., which is focused on giving robots human-like dexterity.
Yeah.
They raised $95 million at a valuation of $1.65 billion.
That's impressive.
It is. And Aptronic, which we just talked about, they raised $350 million in a Series A funding round.
Wow.
So it seems like investors are really recognizing the potential of embodied AI.
Absolutely. I mean, the ability to have robots that can, interact with the world in a more human-like way is critical for so many applications.
Right.
So Dexterity's focus on, enabling robots to touch, recognize, and move with grace.
Yeah.
Is really key for, manufacturing, logistics, and beyond.
And NVIDIA isn't just providing the hardware.
No, they're not.
They're also developing software to help train these robots.
Right.
They have this Cosmos World Foundation model.
Yeah, that's a really interesting approach.
It is. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, so they're creating these generative models that can simulate realistic, real-world scenarios in the virtual world.
Okay.
And this allows them to train robots in these safe, controlled environments using vast amounts of synthetic data.
Okay.
And that can really speed up the development process.
So they can train these robots on all sorts of different scenarios without having to actually put them in those situations.
Right. They can learn from their mistakes.
Right.
In the virtual world without any real world consequences.
And then once they've kind of mastered those skills in the virtual world.
And they can be deployed into the real world with much more confidence.
Makes sense. Now, AI isn't just transforming the world of robotics. it's also having a major impact on healthcare.
Absolutely.
Google's MedGemini is showing some really impressive results.
It is.
It's achieved 91.1% accuracy on medical exams.
That's incredible.
It is incredibly impressive.
And they're also using it to assist with the analysis of 3D medical scans through their partner system, AMI.
Okay.
And they have pilot programs at major medical institutions like Johns Hopkins and the Mayo Clinic.
Wow.
So it really seems like they're making a move towards AI-augmented diagnostics.
So using AI to help doctors make better decisions.
Yeah, essentially giving doctors a powerful tool to help them interpret complex medical data.
Yeah, now we also saw a really fascinating story about Inoplexis.
Yeah, that was an amazing story.
Using an AI and GPU-powered pipeline to accelerate the drug discovery process for pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, they reduced the time from 12 months to just 17 days.
That is unbelievable.
It's mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing. How did they do that?
Well, they essentially analyzed 126 million protein interactions.
Okay.
Using these modified AlphaFold 3 architectures.
Okay.
And that allowed them to identify a promising drug candidate.
Wow. And they're even expecting to get FDA Fast Track designation for that drug.
Yeah, that's a huge validation of this AI-driven approach.
So this is a real game changer.
It is.
For drug discovery.
Yeah, it shows the potential of AI to revolutionize scientific research.
Now, Duke Health also had an interesting development this week.
They did.
They have an AI model that can predict adolescent mental health risk.
Wow.
Before severe symptoms even appear.
That's incredible.
It is really fascinating. And they're able to do this by identifying underlying factors like sleep disturbances.
Yeah, that's a really interesting insight.
It is.
And the fact that they can do this without relying on brain imaging data suggests, a very powerful tool for early intervention. And potentially addressing this growing challenge of youth mental health.
And the finding that sleep disturbances are a strong predictor is also really interesting.
It is. It could lead to new preventative strategies. Focusing on improving sleep hygiene in adolescents.
Now, In Silico Medicine also had a big win this week.
They did.
Their AI-designed drug, Rentosertib, has received its official generic name approval.
That's a major milestone.
It is a major milestone.
It demonstrates the entire life cycle of AI in drug discovery.
Yeah.
From the initial design of the molecule to regulatory approval.
And this paves the way for more AI discovered.
Exactly.
And designed therapeutics to reach patients.
That's a really exciting time.
It is a really exciting time for AI in healthcare.
Yeah.
But it's not just healthcare. AI is also making big strides in the business world.
Absolutely.
Salesforce announced a massive $1 billion investment in Singapore.
Wow.
To expand their AI-powered Agentforce platform.
Yeah, that's a huge commitment to enterprise AI.
It is.
And it really underscores the growing importance of AI in enterprise software.
And they're focusing on things like enhancing workforce productivity, driving AI adoption within businesses.
Exactly.
Through platforms like Agentforce.
Yeah.
So this is a clear trend towards deeper integration of AI.
Yeah, AI is becoming an integral part of business operations.
Now, Home Depot also had an interesting announcement this week.
What's that?
They have this AI tool for their retail staff.
Okay.
Called the Magic Apron.
Magic Apron. I like that.
It is a good name. And this is a wearable AI device that can help store associates with things like customer inquiries, inventory management, and even providing DIY recommendations.
So it's like having an AI assistant right there in the aisle with you.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
It is really cool. And it's a very practical way to use AI to improve the retail experience.
It could really enhance both the efficiency of the store's operations and the overall customer experience.
And finally, the Turing Award for 2025 has been awarded to Andrew Barto and Richard Sutton for their foundational work in reinforcement learning.
Yeah, that's a well-deserved recognition.
It is.
Their decades of pioneering work on the theoretical foundations and practical applications of reinforcement learning have been absolutely crucial to many of the breakthroughs that we're seeing today.
So reinforcement learning is really the foundation for a lot of the advancements in AI.
It is. It's a fundamental building block.
And these two researchers really laid the groundwork.
They did. They paved the way.
For all the exciting things that are happening today.
Yeah.
So it's been a huge week for AI.
It has.
A lot of exciting developments.
Lots to be excited about.
What really stood out to you the most?
I think what's particularly interesting is how interconnected all these areas of progress are.
Okay.
The advancements in these underlying AI models, they fuel the capabilities of AI agents and the intelligence we're seeing in robots. So it's this kind of synergistic effect that's driving innovation at an incredible pace.
Absolutely. Now, what about you? What resonated most with you?
For me, it's the rapid advancements in embodied AI.
Okay.
The integration of sophisticated AI into physical systems like robots. I think that has profound implications for our lives and industries.
Yeah, it's really mind-blowing to think about.
It is.
The potential of these robots to do things that, we once considered science fiction. And now they're becoming a reality. So as always, we encourage our listeners to continue exploring these topics.
Absolutely.
Think about the potential impact of AI on areas like mental health prediction. The possibilities that more intelligent robots could unlock.
It's an exciting time to be following AI.
It is an exciting time.
Yeah.
So this has been your deep dive into the most important AI news of the week.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did cover a lot of ground.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope it sparked your curiosity to learn even more about this amazing field.
Keep learning. Keep exploring.
Exactly. Now, for more in-depth tutorials and explorations of the world of AI, be sure to subscribe to Before AGI Weekly and also visit my YouTube channel, Ian Ochieng AI.
Great resources.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next week for another deep dive.
See you then.
Bye.